Welcome to the Business Boys Talking Business Virtual Power Lunch. Please welcome your hosts, Tyler Price and Brian Magleby.
Hey,
Hey,
Merry freaking Christmas.
that's right. Merry freaking Christmas. So we got Santa. Where is he? This side, right here,
yeah.
right here, Santa. So
Hold still, Sam.
that's right. So we got him looking at my back there, backside there. So
Yeah.
so Merry Christmas and welcome to Talking Business.
Yeah.
Hey,
And I wasn't here last week.
You
just
grew
to
some
clarify.
hair.
Yeah.
you
So
grew a lot of hair. Last week you were bald, and this week
Chip-
look at the hair you
Chip
have.
took over for me, and yeah, Chip is hair challenge.
Hair challenge, follically challenged. But we had a great show last week with Jason Averill from Avercast. If you haven't watched that, wow, I call him the supply chain genius. His company is going big time. And if your company needs help with some supply chain management, if anything dealing with COVID has caught you a little bit unprepared, that your whatever you do, your business, your retail, if you're a retail business, it's really effective. And man, he's got such a great program, and he knows how to keep you ahead of the curve so that you don't get caught during the holiday season without inventory. So.
Yeah, pretty interesting how in small town Idaho there's these amazing. I mean, even all businesses are amazing,
Yeah.
but there is some unique things going on.
Yeah, this guy out of Little
Yeah.
Rigby, Idaho,
Yeah.
and man, he's got some big things happening in his company. You might want to check it out. There's some big things happening with his company this week again, even things we couldn't talk about last week. So,
Yeah. So
check
you're-
it out.
You're a tease right
I
now.
am a tease.
Yeah.
But hey, we got a great show. Today's all about giving. It is the season to be given.
Yeah.
So we are excited. We couldn't just limit it to one person. So we've got two guests today that are going to talk that have made major impact in the giving here in Eastern Idaho, and and some of them have been here for 3 to 5 years. And man, what impacts they're making here in Eastern Idaho. We've also got a great training topic about being the go-giver. 'Tis the season to be giving. So we're going to be talking about how in business you can be what's called a go-giver. And we're going to be giving away that book. It's one of my favorite books that I've ever read. And we're going to be talking about that and giving it away at the end of the show. So stay tuned.
Awesome.
Pay
Yeah.
attention, because we're going to be asking a trivia question of something we talked about during the show. And that's how you will earn it. So
Yeah. But let's mention our sponsors, because they make this thing happen.
make
This
it
just
happen.
kind of was an idea, and Brian and I went out, and BBSI was the first guys to jump on board and
And
say,
guess
yeah,
what?
we can help.
They jumped on board again next year, so
Wow.
we are going to be continuing it.
Yeah.
So BBSI is a great sponsor. Go talk to Jeremy, Mike, Jared, all the guys down there at BBSI. What a great crew they have, and what a great business. If your business needs help with human resources, they are the company to go to.
And business trainings. I mean, they valuations, exit strategies.
And if you're
they're
just
the whole
thirsty,
thing.
stop in and they'll
Yeah,
give you
do what I
a
do.
Diet Coke or
Just walk in. If no one's in the conference room, go to the
just
fridge,
go into the
grab a
fridge
soda,
and grab a
leave.
Coke and
They
tell them
don't-
that
Yeah.
the talking business guys told you to do
we
it.
sent you.
That's right.
Let's don't forget about Volpine. Man, he does a great job with our website.
Kind of a funny story. He went on vacation down to
Costa Rica.
Costa Rica,
I talked
and
to him this morning, and
Did
he's
you?
still in Costa
he's
Rica.
still in Costa Rica. The COVID bug got him down there, so he texted me last night and he says it's a rough life.
Yeah.
It's rough COVID. I'm sitting on the beach in Costa Rica, so
Yeah, so I don't know, maybe go to a tropical place, buy travel insurance, and then say you have COVID, so you have to have your vacation extended,
They do.
and then the travel insurance covers it.
That's
so
right.
just a thought. That's probably illegal, so don't
Yeah,
do it.
yeah.
But it's just a thought. Just
leave it to
saying.
you to come up with
Yeah,
something illegal.
well, that's what I
so.
think he did. Well, no, now they're going to investigate him.
That's
and
right.
Make him pay it all
New
back.
Line Media. Let's move on.
Yeah.
So New Line Media, we're going to show an ad at the end of the show that has talks about what great services that Tyson does. He's the one here producing this show, and we appreciate him in his production studio. He does a great job of producing shows, ads, video, anything video he can do. So.
Yeah. And the Idaho Innovation Center, Brian runs that here and does an amazing job. You have taken some companies and really coached them up and really companies have launched from there. You have companies in there. Do you have any space available right now?
We do. We have one office space available that's I've got a couple people interested in it, but no one's signed on it yet. So it's a great little office in our main building.
So it's something that you get a little bit of a break on rent,
Yep.
but then you get Brian coaching you, and this guy knows what he's doing. So I can't. I mean, the Innovation Center is a great.
Check out our
resource.
Google reviews. It tells all about us. So, and then the Idaho SBDC, that's who we do our coaching through. So we appreciate the SBDC and their continued support. They've jumped on board next year. So we are going to make some changes. Go ahead and cut that screen. We've are going to be making some changes next year. We're going to be changing times, possibly.
Oh yeah, I'm supposed to do something.
Yes, you are supposed to be sending out a survey. So
there'll
we're
be
going
a survey soon. Now I'm really committed.
Yes,
so
you are. 100%
2 weeks ago, I was
committed.
asked to do this, and now I'm just remembering.
It will be happening today or tomorrow. We're going to be sending out a survey to all of the people who have liked us on Facebook. There will be a Facebook survey. We're looking at we're looking to keeping it on the same day.
Yep.
But we're looking at 10 o'clock in the morning. So Tuesday at 10, Tuesday at noon, keeping it the same way we've done it, and Tuesday at 2. So we will be sending out a survey, and we hope that everyone, what time would be best fit for you next year? We have a conflict at the noon time with the chamber luncheon once a month, and so we've had some people say, man, I wished I could watch it every week, and so we have looked at Tuesday at 10 and Tuesday at 2 is kind of what, but we're going to keep the noon time on there just to see if people, if this time does work for people. So
well, watch for that.
Yep.
So
And Tyler promises it will be out.
I don't know how to do it, but
we're going to
figure
figure it out. So, hey, we got a training coming up in January that we put together, and it's a leadership, and it's called a strengths-based leadership. And it'll be for 3 weeks. The last 3 Wednesdays, I think, it's the 12th, 19th, and 26th, I believe. 3 Wednesdays in the afternoon. We've got Christine Garner that has been on the show.
Yep.
Between her and I, we're going to be teaching the class, and it'll be a strengths-based leadership. And if you want to learn how to be a better leader within your organization and to play off the strengths that you have, then you need to come to that training. It's the training is $149, and I promise you, if it's not worth the $149 the first week, I'll give you your full money back. So,
Yep. Nice.
So we're excited. The show today is all about giving. So we're gonna watch. We've got the first guest that we have on the show today is Valerie Blanchard. She's a longtime friend.
Yeah.
A high school. We'll date ourselves back to high school.
Wow.
So, and then recently she married my best friend from high school. So
Good.
we are excited to have Valerie Blanchard on the show with the Wall of Warmth. What an impact that organization has made
Really
here
done some
in
great
Eastern
things.
Idaho. They're just wrapping up their campaign for this year, but we are excited to have them on, talk about where they've been, where they're at, and then where they're going to be in the future possibly. So, and then our second guest, man, if you're on Facebook, you had to have heard in this area of Clandestine Kringle. What a giving organization, and they started, I think, 3 or 4 years ago, and man, they are taking care of a lot of families here in Eastern Idaho.
Doing great things. Yeah.
So we've got to kind of split it up between the two guests. So we'll have Valerie on first, and then we have Kylie Adams from Clandestine Kringle. I'm going to slaughter that many of times today, so you help me out.
Tomato.
That's right. So, we're going to start out and talk about the Wall of Warmth. And here's a brief ad that was on Local News 8 by Todd Coons down there, and I think it was this year, and talking about the Wall of Warmth. So we'll do that, and then we'll introduce Valerie Blanchard to the set.
Our community is on a mission to keep people warm this winter. Today, volunteers from the Hall Foundation gathered in Idaho Falls to sort through thousands of coats. The coats are being prepared for the Wall of Warmth. They were donated by people across Eastern Idaho. Volunteer Dusty B with the Hall Foundation shared more about their mission.
They're all here spending their time, their work hours, preparing these coats. Again, going through each coat, making sure it meets a certain standard, and then it's going to be bagged, it's going to be marked, and then it's going to be put on a wall in Pocatello, Rexburg, Idaho Falls, and Blackfoot. The coats are highly
The coats will be hung on the fences tonight and will be there through December 15th. We'll have the location on our website. Now, the coats are available to anyone who needs one, and anyone can leave one to donate.
Wow, the wall of warmth.
Fantastic. So this started how, and it was kind of, you hate to say small, but everything's got to start. But how did it start, and what's been the progression? Because this year you got some people behind it.
We got some massive help.
Yeah.
It was a lifesaver this year, actually. When we were going, when we first started this about 4 years ago, friends of mine sat down, and I wanted to do something. I wanted to give back and do something to the community that's been so good to me. And so back in my radio days, when I was a promotion director for Z103 and K-Bear, some of the DJs, Brad and Dusty B, they taught me one thing, and that was, you want to do something that's going to make an impact off a lot of people, not just something that's going to make an impact on 1 or 2 people, because it doesn't feel like it's as much giving, and there's not as many people that are going to be involved. And I wanted to really help a lot of people. So we had a friend that said back where they were from, they had a wall of giving, and they just had it up all the time. They put anything on the wall. I mean, you can find anything, literally. And so I said, well, what if we just did that with coats? And then the wall of warmth came. So I went up to my clients. I'm a realtor in the area. And so I went to the clients that I sold houses to this year and that year and said, hey, you were moving, cleaning out closets. Do you have any coats? And I came up with 600 coats from my clients, and they were all awesome to help. So we put the wall up on Lincoln by Action Motorsports. And as we put that up, the next day I stayed across the street and looked, and I was like, oh man, I hope somebody needs coats. I really hope somebody needs coats. But man, the stories and the people that really benefit from this and need coats, it's been amazing.
Yeah.
I've had some really good stories.
And so that was 3-4 years ago. The 4th year?
This is the 4th,
This
yeah.
is the 4th year of it. So that started back then, and talk to us about where you're at now. So now you're in Rexburg, Idaho Falls, Blackfoot, and Pocatello.
And Pocatello. And next year we're moving on even more. So the first year we did 600. We just focused in Idaho Falls. The next year we did Idaho Falls again. So we opened it up to a lot of different places, Tyler. That's where we got Austin Cade Academy involved, and then we also got the Lyle Amato. Those people got involved. We put up boxes in those areas and started collecting coats, and people, the community, they answered. And so we were able to give away 1,200 coats. And we decided, well, if we can do it here in Idaho Falls, let's see what other communities we can help benefit. Our goal was to help keep all of Eastern Idaho warm.
Yeah.
And the last year we did between 5,000 and 6,000 coats. It's so hard to keep track of because coats keep coming and going throughout the whole thing. And this year, we're about the same. We're a little less than last year, but we haven't had the snow.
Yeah.
And
people haven't worn their
need
coats.
coats.
Yeah.
So.
But this year you did get and sometimes people don't like to have the spotlight, but there's this Hall family that has a amazing. They've got a whole division that's devoted to giving back, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
And so you got them involved. What was that? How did that change things for you?
So the Hall Foundation came to me and asked me, because last year we got the Good to Go stores involved.
Yeah.
And Dusty B is a really good friend of mine, and he's the marketing director over there. So he went to Sunny Harker, who is over the Hall Foundation, and she has been amazing. They came in and they have just poured out everything that we need. On the video you saw, all of their employees, they took one day and came and helped assemble the coats, because that would have taken me and my husband and my mom and sister and family 3 weeks to do.
That's how it was done in the beginning. You're just doing it out of your house, right?
Yeah, and in order for us to grow anymore, we really had to involve somebody like the Hall Foundation. And so they were a godsend coming to me this year. They're so good. Their employees are phenomenal.
What a great organization, Brad Hall. We've had the CEO of the Hall of Good to Go on the show, and what a giving organization. Their company is doing so well. They're expanding, but to have the Good to Go on your side,
Yeah, they've been a phenomenal organization, and the Hall Foundation, just the whole company. And it takes a lot because we have over 40 boxes,
Yeah.
donation boxes, and it was usually just me. So, real estate comes to a halt for
Yeah.
about a month. And we just basically do coats. My car and my truck are
Yeah.
completely filled with coats, and I can't hardly look at them. But it's just a cool feeling because so many people have been giving and really helping with this year.
Yeah.
Wow, what a great organization. They're wrapping up their this week. I think that they're going to be out. And I went by Action Motorsports yesterday. There was a really nice coat still left out there. So
Yeah.
I was like, man, maybe I should stop and see if that had fit the Magleby man. But anyway, there
Maybe you
is still some coats out there.
You should
So
probably take a coat
I
there
probably
and drop it off.
Yeah,
So-
well, that's what people have been doing.
Yeah.
And at first, I had some people come and say, well, they're just going to go grab them and sell them, or people don't need them. But as I spend time at the wall, I really get to see the families, and I really get to see the need that we have in these areas. We have moms coming and getting coats for their kids who either get to make a choice for a toy or a coat for Christmas. Every kid needs a toy.
Yeah.
So if we
yeah.
can provide a coat, that just makes me happy because
Yeah.
these kids need toys. Also, we had a great story in Pocatello. Dr. Williams in Pocatello, he's a chiropractor at Streamline Sports. He just took over the wall in Pocatello and has really been great to help. He had a lady go into Lowe's. Lowe's has supplied all of our boxes. And as he was in there talking to them and gathering boxes, the lady heard him. And she went over to her manager and said, the wall of warmth is how I kept my kids warm and myself warm last year because I was homeless.
Yeah.
And without that, she would have froze.
Yeah.
And so it's such great stories. And everybody knows someone that is going through a rough time or needing some assistance or help. And that's what it's for. And like I said, it's my job just to provide, not to police.
Yeah.
But I don't need to police because people really are genuinely doing this. And if they come, I see big families come to the wall, and they'll come and grab coats with all the kids. They'll go, and I'm not kidding you, an hour later, they'll come back with those same kids with a coat from last year.
Yeah. Sure.
And
We'll say
that's
that
just
for
cool.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
give and receive. So
Yeah.
that's
It is.
It's absolutely. So the walls in Rexburg, I think they're right by the airport. Is that?
they are.
And
It's
then
the Legacy Flight.
Yep. And then in Idaho Falls by Action Motorsports in Blackfoot, where do they find them?
Right outside Cow Ranch on McWhirter.
Okay.
It's between Tad Jenkins and Cow Ranch, and they have both been really good sponsors of
Very
the-
good. And
Yeah.
in Pocatello.
It's at Streamline Sports downtown on 5th.
Wow.
Yeah.
So
Great. So 4 great locations. I mean, if you don't know Valerie, I'll give a little plug for. She's a realtor up in the Rexburg area. And she has a thing if you want to check out her listings, valerieslist.com. So give a little plug for that. But she's extremely involved here in Eastern Idaho. She produces the rodeo when she's not when she's not doing the real estate thing, the coat thing. She's doing rodeo. She's had 3 sons that have been national stars. I've met them all. They are great boys.
they're good kids.
They're not boys anymore. They are men.
Yeah.
yeah,
so-
Yeah.
they're big.
They're
Yeah.
bull riders, right? So at
The
least
middle one's a bull
middle
rider.
one, yeah.
Garrett, he's a
Yeah,
bull rider. Yeah. Yeah.
Which-
The other 2 are bulldoggers. So
Yeah.
yeah.
you know, one's tall and skinny, and the other 2 are just built.
Yeah.
They're bulldoggers.
Yeah, very good. It comes
Lots
from
of
a
fun.
great family. She produces the PRCA rodeo at the fair in Blackfoot every year. She's done such a great job. She's been nationally recognized in the top 5 PRCA rodeos, small rodeos, and in the
And
top
we won
20.
it in
Yeah.
2019. We
Yeah.
won out of 750 rodeos.
Wow.
We won the small market rodeo of the year in the PRCA, Little Blackfoot,
Little
Idaho.
Blackfoot, Idaho
Yeah.
at the state fair. So Valerie
Awesome.
is very involved in many of things, but her main thing is the real estate gig that she does. Absolutely does a phenomenal job here in Eastern Idaho. We appreciate her being here. It's wrapping up. The Wall of Warmth is wrapping up this week. Go out there and check. If you know of someone or if you can still donate, can they still donate at the Good
Yeah.
to
What
Go?
can they do still?
They can. I'm actually picking up boxes between today and tomorrow, but you can always take them to Action Motorsports. That'll be the last place that I take the box down. Or you can bring them on a hanger and just hang them right
Hang
on
'em
the
up.
wall.
Yeah.
Yep. Until the end of the week, we can do that. Once the sign goes down, we ask people not to put the coats on the wall. I usually have people come and do it for another week or two, but we've told Action Motorsports we're kind of trying to limit it to the 15 days.
Yeah.
Very good. So if you haven't checked it out, go check it out. It's a great organization, Wall of Warmth here in Eastern Idaho. So thank you, Valerie, for representing that, and we wish you the best. You've got a great partner with the Hall Foundation, and the Good to Go stores. So we wish you the best, and thank you for your giving here in Eastern Idaho.
Well, thank you guys, and thank you for always being involved. I know Tyler and I have had a few little competitions going on with the Wall of Warmth.
I lost my hair over it one year.
And my hair might be pink this year.
Yeah.
We like that.
No,
And,
no, we don't
and
like
please,
that.
next year, let's do another challenge to get him to buzz his head again.
Yeah.
So,
I think you need in on this.
nope,
Yeah.
I'm not.
I
I'm
think so.
delegating this one. So,
Nope.
And shave his back or something.
whoa.
No, I'll leave that up to you.
So thank you, Valerie. Valerie's list. Valerie's is a great example here of what giving is in Eastern Idaho. We're gonna transition in and watch this video. The book that we're gonna be talking about is called The Go Giver. I read this book about 12 years ago, and I refer to it all the time. If all of the business leaders out there had this type of a mentality. So we're gonna watch this. It's about a 4-minute video that introduces what the Go Giver book is all about. And then we'll talk a little bit about it. Then we'll welcome Kylie Adams on here from Clandestine Kringle.
Yes.
Did I say it right
We're
again?
going with it.
So good. Watch this video about the book, and then we're going to be giving away the book at the end. So.
Well, I stumbled upon a Facebook page that is perfect for this time of year and perfect for what we were looking for. It helps people in need during the holidays, and we get to pay it forward. Clandestine Kringle. What is this? A secret communication pipeline right to the North Pole and the man himself? So I tried reaching out. Yep, he responded. I wanted to talk to him about what this is he's doing, but he's so busy leading up to his big trip Christmas Eve. So he put me in touch with some of his local elves working as scouters and vetters here in Eastern Idaho. Meet Mark Radford, Michelle Mangum, and Jim Mangum. They tell me Clandestine Kringle has been doing this in Eastern Idaho for 5 years. Families with needs get posted on the Clandestine Kringle Facebook group.
Kringle then will take that information and give that family a Christmas name so that family stays anonymous.
From there, that gets posted on the group for others to see. You can either donate or adopt a family.
It can be 2, 3, 4, 5 kids. We even have one family with 14 kids. That family was adopted by a business.
Michelle says the community has been great, from sponsors to adopters to elf volunteers.
This year is spectacular. As these families are dropping on our page, they are almost instantly being adopted.
The goal this challenging year is about 75 families. That puts the number of kids in the hundreds. Mark Radford's business, Colby Off-Road, is one of the sponsors. He's one of the elves and passionate about helping Clandestine Kringle.
I had a Christmas where we didn't get much. We had a guy show up, knocked on the door. I was a family, knocked on the door. We opened the door, and there's a whole bunch of presents, and they took off. We didn't even know who it was. And I'll never forget that. Never forget how I felt. And so when I was asked to help to pay for a sponsorship, I felt it was the right thing to do. And I know what's out there. I know people struggle. I know people are struggling right now with the whole thing, and there's families out there that need a Christmas.
And with that, it's time to pay it forward.
You know, the only thing that I can think of that is an antidote to this political unrest and everything else is love that we share with each other. And I found that this Clandestine Kringle is a way to do that. It's a way for many people to come in and be involved and come in and do this.
Michelle, Mark, how are you guys? Good. I'm Corey with Mountain America Credit Union. We've heard about what you're doing with your organization and giving a little bit of magic back into our community. So we're here today to pay it forward. So I brought with me today $500 in cash that I know you can continue to spread your kindness, your magic through this time and help those families in need. So on behalf of Mountain America Credit Union, we'd like to pay it forward to you guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
What a great organization. We
Yeah.
had a little technical difficulty there. We're going to do this, and then we're going to play the Go Giver at the very end, which stay tuned for that.
Yeah.
But what a great video there introducing Clandestine Kringle. Man, I know the people on that video, Mark Radford, dear friend, and if you want to talk about a giving individual, he's there.
He's always in the mix, isn't he?
That's
So,
right. Everything that I've ever done community-wise, he's the first guy to jump in and help donate. So it's great. Glad to see Mark there. We have Kylie Adams here from Clandestine Kringle. Tell us about how this organization started and where it's at today.
It started 7 years ago, and it was just kind of a secret Santa, one guy kind of doing a thing behind the scenes. It grew from there in a couple of years, and now there's a whole bunch of people involved that are elves, and it grew from one person kind of giving and doing what he.
Hundreds of elves out there in the field. So if you haven't seen them, go to Facebook. I'm sure it's on Instagram too.
I think it's just Facebook.
Is it just Facebook? Okay, so Facebook and look up Clandestine Kringle. Clandestine is with a C. Kringle was with a K. I did that wrong a few times. So Clandestine Kringle, and so this mysterious man started this, and now look at it where it's at 7 years later.
Yeah, it's huge. It went from helping a few families every year to now we're helping over 80 a year. Over
80 families, and we're not talking just one little gift. We're talking families that are being affected. The Idaho Innovation Center recently adopted a family, so we are hurriedly putting together. But the family we have, I think, has 6 people in it, and so what a great opportunity to help provide for many of these families. It's probably all they're going to see.
It is, yeah. Most of them, most of these kids wouldn't have a Christmas whatsoever, and we're able to do that through the help of the community and the donation, people adopting the families. A really good Christmas, actually. It's not just like one toy, like for it's not that bad about them.
Right.
It's not just like one kid gets one toy. It is like a full-blown Christmas for kids, like what you would do for your own kid. It's very cool.
Yeah, and there's definitely stories, right? I mean, you've been involved in, and my wife and I, our school, we try to get teach it in our school. So we did a fundraiser at Krispy Kreme Donuts, and we went down.
Thank you for those, by the way.
Yeah,
it helped with the rotundus.
Yeah, there was 1,300 dozen donuts that we had to get a trailer and pull back, and calculated out to I think it was 24 million calories that we brought back to Idaho Falls.
I love you.
Yeah, so. But what's been some of the things like why did you get involved, and what are some of the stories that have really touched you?
I don't even remember how I got involved. I think just kind of came across the page, jumped right in, and then Michelle just kind of adopted me as her other half, and so now I don't get a choice.
Yeah.
Michelle,
you were talking about how she manipulates you into doing good things, right?
That's my phone
all
call
for the good things.
And one of the most probably the coolest story is one of the first year that I got involved, when it kind of went live, but we're involved, it was about 5 years ago. We went to this house and they didn't have a Christmas tree, nothing. No Christmas decorations. This mom had absolutely nothing. 3 kids. And so we go in there earlier in the day to their Christmas decorate. And we noticed the kids didn't have any beds. A 7-year-old was actually sleeping car seat, a car seat carrier, one of those little. So I called Michelle and I said, kids don't have beds. And so she made a couple of phone calls, and by the end of the night, they had a Christmas tree, they had a box of food, they had decorations up for Christmas, they had new couches, they had a new kitchen table. All the kids had beds with brand new bedding, pillows, everything, plus an entire Christmas under the tree. Yeah. It was just, it was very overwhelming. It was very emotional. Everything that we were able to provide these kids. The little girl, when we were there, just kept hugging me. It was amazing.
That's what Christmas is all about, and what the great things that like they said, they don't just come in and give them a single toy. It is they give them multiple gifts, and some of these kids would have it. So there are still some families that can be adopted. Is that right? It's not too late.
Yeah, we are actually needing some more families to come in. Austin Cade came through with some really big donations, and they're adopting a bunch of families, and so we need to get them fulfilled. So if anyone needs help, go ahead and message the page, and let's get you set up for Christmas.
Yep, and if you're willing to help out, if you can look them up and volunteer to take on some families, or you could contact us at the Innovation Center. We've got a large family that is a lot of gifts that we're working on. We've got a few days to come up with a lot of gifts, and if you want to help us, we'd be willing to take on the help there too. So search them up on Facebook, Clandestine Kringle. Clandestine is with a C, Kringle is with a K. That was how you'll find them. So talk to us about how this has grown through the years, and then is it going to continue in the future?
Oh, I can guarantee it will continue. When it kind of first started, it wasn't very big, and now we buy fleece and everyone makes blankets, and so every single child gets a blanket that's handmade. Every child gets a book. We do book fairs at Barnes & Noble. So every child receives a book that they want. Usually, we try to fulfill a need, like if they need snow boots or if they do need a coat or anything like that, and then a want of like a toy or something. So it kind of just went from nothing to now it's huge, and sometimes it's a little overwhelming, but it's amazing. How excited these kids are. We do deliveries on a sleigh, which is something that they haven't done forever.
Yeah.
And yeah, I can only imagine that it's going to grow more. The more we get our name out there and the foundation gets scooped up by other people, keep growing, and hopefully, next year we can do over 100 families and just keep it going and spreading the cheer and the love.
Yes.
No, it's been a great community for that. We have East Idaho News they have a
what are some amazing stories? We had Nate on the show a few months ago.
Nate, we got Valerie doing, and there's others. There's Operation Christmas Magic. There's the clandestine. I'm gonna screw that word up now. I'm thinking about it.
Now that I got you.
You can just call it Kringle.
Kringle, we'll call
That's
it
what the
Kringle.
elves call it.
So how do people though really? Because I think sometimes it takes people like Valerie and Michelle and Nate and people like that and Shelly Jorgensen to jump in and say, hey, we're just going to do this. But it all starts at not being done to every year growing. So what would you say to encourage someone just to get involved?
Just look us up on Facebook, and there's so many different ways you can be involved. It can be from adopting a family to if you just want to donate money to you can shop for the family and someone else can deliver the Christmas for them. You can tie blankets. You can volunteer at the book fair. We have a photo shoot coming up with Santa. You could volunteer to help run the photo shoot so everything is smooth. There's a million different ways to get involved. It just depends on how involved you want to be. If you can't afford to get involved that way of adopting a family, there's tons of other ways.
Be a volunteer. I think they call it an elf in training and an elf in charge or something.
Yeah.
So, but come out and be an elf and help them deliver to these families. And there's so much things that doesn't all require the financial abundance to be able to do that. So
we always need help wrapping presents too. We usually get together as a big group, and we all wrap presents for the entire night to get ready to do the deliveries. You can just come on the deliveries. You can go do the caroling. You can be super involved and very active in it, or you can kind of just step back and be anonymous. It just all depends on what you're comfortable with.
Yeah. But it's just something I would say, jump out there. Because there's been times when,
for sure,
when Allison and I have, early in our marriage with young kids, been sitting there looking at each other like, ooh, it's tight.
It's pretty slim.
And people have helped us out. So that's part of why sometimes I complain about, I am the Grinch in our relationship. But every year I talk to people like yourself and Valerie and all the others. And it reminds me of, hey, be humble, because there was a time when you were receiving that. So anyway.
Yeah, so encourage you to be like our Santa right here behind us, and if you have the means and would like to help with that, please search out on Facebook, Clandestine Kringle. Great organization, and they still have some families needing things this year. So encourage you to look them up and to help out wherever you can. If you're looking for people to help, come to the Innovation Center, go to their page and volunteer, whatever it takes. Go to Austin Cade. They'll point you in the right direction. It's all about giving this time of year. So thank you, Kylie Adams, for being here and representing Clandestine Kringle, and what a great organization they are, and will continue to be here in Eastern Idaho. So thank you.
Yeah, thank you guys for having me.
All right, well, let's jump into this. We threw a curveball at our production with having a training in between, but we're going to do the training here at the end. We're going to, I can't tell you how phenomenal this book is. And here's a quick 4-minute video on what the Go Giver is. All the things we've been talking about today is summarized here with this Go Giver.
Meet Joe, an ambitious young man who yearns for success. Sound familiar? Maybe you know someone like Joe. He's aggressive, relatively successful, and determined to reach the top. A real go-getter. But something is missing. Something that has caused him to be not nearly as financially successful and internally fulfilled as he knows he could be. One day, Joe is fortunate to be introduced to a man named Pindar, known by some of the most highly successful people in the world simply as the chairman. Over the next week, Joe meets some of Pindar's former proteges who are extremely financially and personally successful. With Joe, they share the 5 laws of stratospheric success. They explain to Joe that if used together, these somewhat counterintuitive 5 laws will lead him to huge success, as it did for them. It only makes sense because these are the same laws people have used in order to be successful in any market-based economy. The law of value. Your true worth is determined by how much more you give in value than you take in payment. The law of compensation. Your income is determined by how many people you serve and how well you serve them. The law of influence. Your influence is determined by how abundantly you place other people's interests first. The law of authenticity. The most valuable gift you have to offer is yourself. The law of receptivity. The key to effective giving is to stay open to receiving. But like any ambitious young man, Joe first challenges these laws before applying them. The law of value, he thinks. This sounds like a recipe for bankruptcy. That sounds reasonable. After all, how does one give more in value than they take in payment and still make a profit? How is value measured? Joe learns that while price is a set dollar figure and finite, value is the relative worth or desirability of a thing to the end user or beholder. So, in other words, what is it about this product or service that brings so much value that a person will willingly exchange their money for it and be ecstatic about it? For example, if Joe hired an accountant to do his tax returns and she charges him $1,000 for her fee or price, when she saves him $5,000 in taxes, hours of work, and provides peace of mind and security that it was done correctly, she gives Joe value far beyond the $1,000. She gives Joe more in value than she took in payment. Joe feels terrific about it, and the accountant makes a very healthy profit. Joe learns quickly the kind of relationship he wants to have with anyone with whom he does business. He discovers how to shift from getting to giving, constantly and consistently providing value to others. This new focus allows Joe to experience a fulfilling way to live while profiting financially as well. Moving from an I or me focus to an other focus is one of the most profitable things a person, especially ambitious Joe, can ever do. Here's the thing. Money is an echo of value. It's the thunder to value's lightning. In other words, value comes first, and the money is simply the natural and direct result of the value provided. The law of value proves to be a good start for Joe, but it's only a start. As important as it is, it represents only his potential income. But tying together the other 4 laws with the first creates the real transformation for Joe. Things improve rapidly. Making money appears effortless, and the returns, excitingly unexpected. These laws can do the same for you, just as they did for Joe and for so many of today's hugely successful leaders, entrepreneurs, and salespeople. Join Joe, along with his mentors, Pindar, Ernesto, Nicole, Sam, Deborah, Rachel, and of course, Gus, and be delighted by this quick, easy-to-read story about a powerful business idea. Actually, a powerful life idea. Enter your name below to receive the first chapter of The Go-Giver.
Well, we were talking, and I was given this book by our friend John Bailey, and I'm confessing I have yet to read this
Oh,
book.
you got to,
So
read this.
I've got it. I know where it's at. I'm going to read it.
And again, you have any idea where John learned about this book?
From you, probably.
Oh, John Bailey
Yeah.
learned about this book is because this is a book that has influenced my life. And before I got to know John, I'd read this book and I told him about it, and then he went on and went out and bought a bunch of the books and gave them out to I think everybody within his organization.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
So just to wrap up, our last speaker, Kylie, before she left, wanted us to just let you know that if you want to give, and just a reminder, everything that happens within the organization is anonymous.
Anonymous, yep.
But if you wanted to give, if you have the means to donate cash, you can do that right through Facebook. And look them up, call them up. If you need a contact person there, call the Idaho Innovation Center, and we will get you in contact with the people who can help you to support the Clandestine Kringle organization. Tyler, I'm going to just give you one of my favorite scriptures. We try to keep this not religious, but one of the scriptures that I've learned that I've always lived by is, "Give and it shall be given unto you, good measure, pressed down, shaken together, and pouring over." I can't remember it word for word, but it's in Mark. I think it's Mark 6:38 in the New Testament. But that's what we've been talking about today. And that's what this book is all about, of giving to other people.
Yeah, and running a business on these values. I think again, I need to read the book.
Yes.
But just it's being authentic. It's being who you are. It's giving the value to somebody. It's not. It's all about quality of the experience and what you're giving to your clients, and then what comes back to you ends up working.
It is, and we're going to give away kind of, this is we're going to tease it a little bit, but we're going to give away what the 5 laws of stratospheric success are. Now, you got to understand, this book is you can read it in a couple hours, literally, if you're a good reader. For me, I'm a slow reader, so it'd probably take me 4 or 5.
2 weeks.
Yeah, 2 weeks. So, but there's these absolute phenomenal laws, and we've had many people that have been on our show this year that have been, they're examples of this.
Yeah, truly are.
And even some of our co-hosts, Patrick, this is the way he lives his life, Patrick Toussaint. And there's so many people. We're going to have Mark Radford that was on that ad. We're going to have him on next year. These are 5 laws, and I challenge you to put it to the test. So, law number 1, the law of value. Your true worth is determined by how much more you give in value than you take in payment. And it summarized that in there. So absolutely a great principle there.
And the law of compensation. Your income is determined by how many people you serve and how well you serve them.
Absolutely a great principle. How you've got to look, and that's what we've talked all about. Now we're relating it to, we've talked about how you can help some families out today, but now what can you do to be different in your business? Third one, the law of influence. Your influence is determined by how abundantly, I love that word, abundantly, you place others people's interests first. So we've always talked about that we were given 2 ears and 1 mouth, and that's what we should be doing, is listening to what other people's interests are, and how abundantly you place their interests before yours.
And the law of authenticity, I love that one. I mean, Valerie is who Valerie is, and there's no faking that. And Kylie the same way.
Yep.
I mean, and again, some of the other people we've had on, and I think you just being authentic to who you are and just being people that want to help just speaks to that.
It
So,
does. It
anyway.
does. And this last one, the law of
I'm glad you got this one.
The law of receptivity.
Wow.
So the key is effective giving is to stay open to receiving. And I've done a lot of life coaching and stuff, and that you're either a giver or you're a taker. And we encourage you that you've got to be open to, if you're going to be a giver, you've got to be open to the receiving as well.
Yes. Amen.
Amen. So we hope, and so we're going to ask a trivia question here. So You want to do it?
Well, I can't spell to save my life. So
That's
you
right. So you want
are
to put
the
my phone
person-
number up there on the
You're
screen?
the person that this guy can look at something and say, "Oh, that's spelled wrong." I've seen him do it.
Yep.
So spelling bee is what we're going
The
with.
spelling bee is what we're going for. And we had an organization on here that we've slaughtered it many of times. But if you can text me, we're going to put my cell phone number up there. Text 208-520-9400. I don't care if you're listening to this a week later.
Yeah.
Text me, because that's how important it is. And we're going to give away the first person that will text me, because I would love to hear this word all week long. If you can text me how to spell and spell it right, Clandestine Kringle,
You win a book.
you win the book,
Yeah.
the Go Giver
Yeah.
book. Absolutely, it
And-
will change your life. I can
And I
tell
don't
you
know
that.
that spell check's helping you.
That's
So-
right. I don't know if it is either, because I punched it in wrong a couple times this week. So text it to me. The how to spell it. Valerie. We're not going to
you're
count.
not. You don't count.
You were in the
Valerie.
room. Sorry, not going to allow you to do it, Valerie. So if you spell that the name right,
You get a book.
You get the book. So what a season of giving. Talking about giving, we've got one show left.
Hey, looking forward to this.
Next week, we got the vice president of Challenger Pallet. What a great big company out in Osgood, Idaho, and they have made some great things happening at their company. They've grown. They got plants in Utah, Montana. We're going to have the vice president on there and talk about giving a little bit more.
Yeah, looking forward to this. This is interesting.
Good. Well, thanks for joining us for Talking Business, and see you next week. And then that will be the last show for the year, and then we'll see you again in 2022. Thanks, everybody.
Woo!
The most powerful and influential form of communication is the story. When you understand somebody's story, you understand them on a deeper level, and then they become unforgettable. They may not need your service now, but when they do, they're going to remember you because they remember your story. My name's Tyson, and at Newline, my mission is to make your business unforgettable. I spent time around a lot of businesses that I have been amazed by their culture. I've been amazed by how they do their job. And I thought, if only more people knew about this company. What would it be like if everybody within your audience had the opportunity to experience you, to experience what you do from the comforts of their own home where they don't feel like they're being sold to? I think what the coolest thing about video and marketing is that it provides sort of a proxy experience. Experience what it would be like to work with you. That's exactly what video can provide. I'm going to come in and sit down with you, and we're going to talk. We're going to collaborate. We're going to find out what's working for you, what's not working for you. And I'm going to take the things that's working for you, I'm going to make those things more accessible to more people in a more omnipresent space. Within the gears of a company, video has the potential to duplicate, automate, and replicate the fundamental elements, the fundamental drivers of your business, freeing you up so that you have more time that you can dedicate to things that are going to be more profitable for you. I think probably the biggest reason that people don't use video more, even though they know how well it works, is because stage fright. They hate being in front of the camera. So when I come to your office or you come into my studio, I try very hard to make the atmosphere lighthearted and humorous, and we're gonna get work done, but we're gonna have fun with it.
He's made it enjoyable. We've had a lot of laughs on set in the studio. We're not comfortable sitting in front of a camera, and he makes it easy to do that. He takes our mistakes and our fumbling around and turns it into something that is just incredible.
All I want to do is take your influence and share it with more people. That's what video is for. Video is the last piece of the puzzle, but it's all you. If you're ready to know how video can benefit your business, fill out the form, brag about yourself. If I think that I'm going to be the best fit for you and that I can help you, then I will reach out very quickly.